Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Through Installment Scott Selections here for Tuesday, May 16th. For again today's play of the day, a quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a loss in hockey with the Kraken and Stars over 5.5 goals at -118 on Bet Online. Line closed at, I believe, 6, and it did not matter. Unfortunately for us, the over 5.5 was a 9-0 in the first of 9 meetings between those teams this season. And then Game 7 came around, and the game died as it landed 2-1. I was going to fade both goalies because Ottinger and Grubauer were pretty underwhelming in the series. Both of them were really good in Game 7, and the game went under. So look for a winner here on Tuesday. And for today's play of the day, going to transition over to baseball. Going to look at a game between the Reds and the Rockies, taking place at around 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this one, I'm going to take a team total in this one. It's, in fact, the play that we won on with the Rockies earlier this year. Going to take the Rockies' first 5, team total over 3.5 runs at +105 on DraftKings. Time recording of 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering why we're going to take the first 5 team total over here for Colorado. First reason, the main reason, is going to be who's starting for Cincinnati. Going to be Brandon Williamson, who has never started in the majors before. And you'd assume, since he's being promoted, that he's probably been good in the minors, or at least good enough to be promoted. That has not been the case. In fact, he's been very underwhelming in the minors so far this season in the minor leagues. 34 innings pitched, 6.62 ERA, 1.88 WHIP. And in spring training, he was even worse. 13 2/3 innings pitched, 20 hits allowed, 11.2 ERA. And we've seen the Reds over the last couple of weeks calling up a bunch of underwhelming prospects who have been complete fade material for their rotation. And it seems like Cincinnati's kind of scrambling to find guys to actually start games, and they don't exactly care how good the pitchers are. So I do think Williamson is in line to get shelled here, because from what I've seen in the minors and spring training is the fact that he's really not ready to start in the majors, and they're throwing him to the fire to see what happens. But to go through a big reason why Williamson has struggled in the minors, he gives up a ton of fly balls, and in Coors Field, that might be a problem. So his fly ball rate over the last 2 seasons have been over 40%. So he's a fly ball pitcher making his first ever start in the majors in Coors. And I think that's going to result in a lot of potential home runs and a lot of traffic on the base paths. But the point is, the Reds this season have been very underwhelming pitching-wise in the first 5 innings, as the Reds are allowing 3.3 runs per game in the first 5 innings, which is the 4th most in the league. And we know the weather's already going to be beneficial to the over because of the fact of the altitude with Coors. But to go through the actual wind, it's supposed to be blowing out at roughly 9 miles per hour. So according to Ballpark Pal, the weather should result in roughly a 15% increase in home runs and a 21% increase in runs. And the Rockies have been a bit underwhelming so far offensively this season. However, they did score 9 runs yesterday in the season opener. So I do think that they're entering this game off a pretty good showing. And once again, they're against a fly ball pitcher who's been underwhelming in the minors, underwhelming in spring training. And once again, the fact is, with the wind blowing out at roughly 9 miles per hour, you should see even more fly balls turn into home runs. But I'm going to dare Williamson to keep it in the ballpark, and I do think as a result he's going to struggle to do so. The Rockies should end up getting at least 4 runs across in the first 5 innings. Play that once again here for Tuesday, May 16th is going to be on the Rockies' first 5. Team total over 3.5 runs at +105 on DraftKings. Bye, everyone.